Welcome back, folks, for our final 70-star match of the evening here on the Global Speedrun Association channel. This time between world record holder and just absolute 70 legend Dwhatever and Swiss phenom DrogieSR. This should be a pretty decent matchup. Dwhatever really needs no introduction, just a wild player at this game, while Drogie been making a good name for himself. And who knows, if D isn't quite feeling like pulling out a 47, Drogie could definitely make some major waves here. As we can see, Dwhatever right towards the top of the win-loss records. With a win in this match, he'll be exactly tied with Punk's win-loss. But Drogie down in about 7th place, could be up in the area of like Benji, Blue Bob, Rock Chalk, should he get a win in this race. So it'll be an exciting one to see. I'm Electric, and I'm joined for this final race by Markinator. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling really good. Yeah, this race is going to be extremely exciting. Obviously, when we were looking at the statistics there, everybody does have at least one loss, so nobody in this league is invulnerable essentially. So and Drogie definitely does have the skills to win it out. So gonna be a really good one.
And we got Drogie on face cam. D tends to prefer no face cam for focus. He tends to find that with face cam on, he gets kind of distracted by it, feeling like he needs to perform.
Yeah. It's hard for him to look away from the camera.
Yeah, just so photogenic. And he, of course,
there he
Perfect.
is.
Perfect.
Trying to overcome his distractions. Focus more on the game.
That was the biggest trick.
Fantastic. Yeah, that was great.
You can't get better comedic timing on purpose. All right, Lakitu skip coming up here. I'm sure we're gonna see the just Omega setup from Dwhatever here. It only saves
Drogie.
Wow, nice. Just completely synced up. Like that setup saves like I think frames over like the still fast but not fastest like long jump setup that's like with a dive on the end somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about setting up the camera. But yeah, you do save a few frames just by going straight after it.
Rather than doing that kick to the right.
Yeah, you get a much better camera, but if you don't need it, then save the frames.
Right, and backflip bomb clip from Dwhatever, getting a big bomb, so very nicely done. I mean, as you see on Drogie's side, you do a backflip after bomb clip normally anyway. Why not fuse the two? It's a pretty precise timing, and it requires big bomb to do, but Dwhatever, of course, knows exactly what he's doing with this game. He's plugged into the matrix. A fun fact for you, Dwhatever doesn't use a controller. He just puts his fingers into the controller ports and just works his magic that way.
Certainly seems that way. Can make Mario go faster in basically every single area than most runners.
So I'm thinking a 12-6 from D, a 12-7 from Drogie.
I'll go double 12-7s.
Really nice rebounds on both sides. The 12-6 from D.
Double 12-6.
Nice. Super clean.
Yeah, 12-6, basically the best time that you can actually get on that slide. I think a 12-5 is humanly possible, but it's
if
very,
you want to get
rare.
Real technical with RTA strats, the TAS does get a 12-3, but I've never ever seen a 12-3. I think I've seen or heard of a 12-4 like once, but a 12-5 is like the limit. Yeah, I think Paris told me that like he's gotten one like once or something. I'm not sure. I've heard it around the grapevine though that it has happened. 12-5 is your standard limit.
Ooh, Dwhatever missing. He's having to do the full setup for cannonless.
All right, he does get it this time. Nice. Doesn't Scotch have a 12-4 race bounty? I haven't heard about that, but I can believe it. It's a nice bounty. Shoutouts to there's a 16-star 14 bounty now. That's really dope.
Yeah, community's getting pretty crazy with these bounties, which I'm kind of excited for. I think it adds an extra motivation.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to see people get rewarded for like really nice hard work in these categories. So Drogie, you could see they're doing texture setup, but actually like readjusting real quick and managed to work out. He did get it first try. TJK, it's somewhere on Twitter. I forget who exactly tweeted about it, but I believe it's by the same person that actually started the All Signs bounty. Drogie, okay, smart play here. He's just gonna go ahead and do Wild Blue. He was so early in the star when he messed up that, like, there's no real point in continuing it just to have to get half cycle anyway, or like just have a ton of missed coins.
Right, and grabbing that star doesn't hardly lose any time either, so I think it definitely loses more time missing the cycle.
Oh, definitely. He lost maybe a second just due to not being able to dive directly towards the star at the start, but like, or maybe 2, but like you're losing like at least like 5, 6 when you miss a cycle.
Right, it's basically turning it into a non-optimal movement, Wild Blue.
Right.
So that's how early he was able to decide he wanted to do that.
But nice movement on this 100 coin, so it really paid off. He was able to succeed really well this time around. And so Dwhatever finishing up his hundo, but of course still got Wild Blue to take care of.
Yep, I can't quite see Drogie's star count.
Oh, it's
our
sitting at
setup
5.
on our end, but he does have 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, still a very even match. There have been no serious mistakes here.
Yeah, so the lead will
lead.
be like whatever Dwhatever gets over Drogie's final star grab time. So he's gonna fade out at like 27, and Drogie's gonna get it at 29. So
Yeah.
2 seconds apart.
Right at each other. These last 2 stars are very consistent. The last one not so consistent, but
And D is likely going to save some time on the last one due to normally doing the double jump kick strat rather than the triple. It's only like, I think, half a second, but it's still something.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, for the most part, fairly consistent. Although you can also slide all the way down, trying to get up here, which is probably the worst thing that can happen to you.
Right. Very nice optimal pounds on both sides. It can be kind of difficult unless you've like practiced it a ton to like accurately time when you need to ground pound to make sure you'll hit the king right when he falls down. And
Yeah,
you can, if you time it a little bit too early, you can hit him as he's falling and you'll hear the sound effect and see the visual, but it won't actually trigger. It's really strange.
Yeah, you just kind of get stuck underneath them as well. So very solid timing for both runners.
Yeah, TJK. I'm sorry if I said 15. I meant to say 14.
So,
Double jump from Dwhatever, and it does work out while Drogie misses the triple, so gonna have to take some backup movement here. So it's losing more time than we actually initially thought.
yeah, there's a much greater gap than I would expected. But Womps' Womps, there's still tons of race to go. Plenty of time saved for Drogie.
Yeah, it's certainly not over yet, but Slide is coming back up.
Right.
12-5, 12-6.
I'll do 12-6, 12-7.
Oh.
I'm not sure I'm confident in the 12-5.
Yeah, you made the right play. I shouldn't have been confident in that either. 12-7s on both sides.
12
Okay.
sevens.
See, that was my very first guess of the night in the last match, and it was wrong, so it just carried over to here. I let it ride. No matter what, commentators will be right. It's our job.
Absolutely.
All right, watch Dwhatever's flying here. Like, this is a textbook example of how you fly in this game. Just, all he's really doing is, like, very specifically moving in up left and left. Like, he's not using a ton of the analog stick range, but the timing is super, super tight.
And getting that button rollout as well.
Yeah, like that, you have to have so much confidence in your control. See, like Drogie, they're just a little bit too low, bonking on the button instead.
Yeah, Dwhatever, one of the best flyers. Him and Cheese are probably the 2 best flyers in the whole league.
Like, when I go to practice flying, I pull up his record video and, like, watch his input display and, like, go through with that. Like, he is the example I personally use for flying. Oh, missed long jump there, but still fine. It looked like he was kind of setting up for the Tsukishima turnaround. He normally does Suki and runs, so he may have just been doing that here as well. And, I mean, if you get the turnaround, it is a really nice start to the run, even if you just... Oh! Okay, based on the elevators, I think he was debating doing the underside movement like you would for Shia no rollout or for Suki.
Yeah, just
because
went a little
that
bit too far.
hesitation. Yeah, because of that hesitation, that actually was what cost him the elevator movement.
Yeah, definitely a strange mistake. Still able to make a pretty good cycle.
Yeah, taking some Shia movement. There's a later cycle though.
Yeah, Shig is what he like just missed and had to like double jump over.
Right. And so Drogie looked like made up a little bit of time here.
Yeah, Drogie
doing the side flip
was
there.
able to get the Shig cycle.
And so that side flip that Drogie did to start the wall kick for the triple, that's actually faster than what Dwhatever did, unless Dwhatever had gotten double firsties. It's a weird thing, but the 2 wall kicks is only faster if both of them are first frame wall kicks.
Yeah, so much speed off those first frames.
Oh jeez, it's ridiculous. Like it's an extremely stark difference. It can sometimes be hard to tell like whether you get a second or third frame or like a third or fourth. Like certain tricks like Owlus, it's easy to tell because a second will work while a third won't in certain setups. But like the difference between a firstie and a second frame is very, very apparent. So like in this game when you wall kick, normally like on a second through fifth frame wall kick, which like there are 5 total frames to wall kick. On those frames, like it'll cut Mario's speed by a proportion and then like make that his resulting speed away from the wall. The first frame though doesn't properly do that calculation, so it actually gives you more speed rather than cutting your speed. So that's why like we refer to firsties as a very different thing from other wall kicks, is they behave very differently. But now sky jump coming out, no wall kicks involved here, fortunately. And a nice sky jump from both players here.
Yeah, an easy trick to mess up on those triple jumps for sure. That big rock formation can be a bit tricky when trying to get that third one.
Yeah, you want to go up like the side that's like facing towards the intro area. Because if you go up like the side that's actually facing towards the slope that you jumped off of, there's a big chance that it'll eat your triple jump. Similar to like the stairs in Whomp's Fortress that can eat like double jumps and such. And there's a lot to manage there that just you got to grind to get that consistent as well. I think the part that was hardest for me was the stick movement, but let's see what happens here with wall kicks will work. Dwhatever, just stupid clean execution. And same from Drogie.
Yeah,
nice.
Drogie's keeping up with Dwhatever this game. He has really been holding his own. I mean, it's been a 2-second difference for most of the game, which is pretty crazy being 11.5 minutes in.
Right.
So Dwhatever opting to do CCM17 route, going ahead and getting his 100 coin finished. Drogie deciding to save the penguin first. But not sure which one Drogie typically prefers.
Oh
my
a big ol'
gosh.
fall. Oh man, that's gonna lose a ton of time. And I think he was probably just going for the triple jump there. There's a like ridiculous triple jump strat you can do. Most runners don't even bother going for it, and this is partially why. Like that is huge for Dwhatever right now.
Yeah, not what you want to see. Basically giving Drogie the lead even though we're on separate stars. And Drogie, okay, is opting to do the CCM18 route, so
what's really interesting to see about this is, should Drogie pull off his first plus very cleanly, I don't think Dwhatever will be able to be ahead with double. So that's a really, really nice place to be sitting for Drogie. Granted, there are other really hard strats like throughout the later run, like for instance, Pro Boost, that we could be seeing from D that Drogie might shy away from, but to be ahead after the double pillarless, like whole fiasco that can happen, is going to be huge. So SSL will really be a hot point for this run. So Drogie heading on into 100 coin now.
yep, he's doing his. So SSL is where these two, for anyone who doesn't know, that's the stage where these two different routes are going to meet. Drogie's getting an extra star here, while we'll get an extra one, or Dwhatever will get an extra one down in the basement. So as soon as they have the proper star counts again, we'll be able to see exactly where they are. So we're out of sync currently.
Yeah. So to kind of expand on why there's even a route difference in the first place is when you go into Shifting Sandland, if you want to end up leaving the basement with 30 stars without going to HMC, you have to do at least 1+ no matter what. Now, if you only do 17 total stars by the time you leave CCM, you have to do 2 pluses. And pillarless or plus is a very difficult trick that a lot of runners don't want to try to do twice. So instead, a lot of runners will do what Drogie's doing here, where you race the penguin while getting your 100 coin star, and you just do the slide star on its own and separately. And this does lose a little bit of time over the double plus route, but is ultimately more consistent since you're not having to do that really hard trick twice.
Yeah, I think it only loses a total of like 4 seconds, I think. So it's not a ton, but if you're willing to take it on, it's worth it.
Yeah, and it can vary based on like whether if you're doing CCM 18, it can vary how much you're losing to your opponent if your opponent's doing pillarless, the standard form, or Tama plus, or just like a number of other factors. So it's close enough that it does somewhat depend on what you're more comfortable with. Like if you feel like the penguin race is scary for you because it can easily result in a minute of time loss should you miss too many coins on the slide, then double plus could be an option if you're consistent enough at it. But on the flip side, like if you're comfortable enough with the penguin and not with plus, like you'll just do that route. It has more so to do with like how comfortable you are with those 2 stars than the time save. I find at the very top level, like Dwhatever, it's definitely about the time save, but for someone like Drogie, it's more so about just comfortability.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Oh, Drogie misses the boo on the slide down, but manages to kill him with a quick ground pound at the top. So, well, you know, not too much lost.
Yeah, pretty lucky he was actually chased him back up. Sometimes the boo likes to kind of just sit down there on the roof, and having to chase him back down is not what you want to do.
Yeah, the worst is like if he gets kind of tucked in that corner between the middle hill on the roof and like the general wall. Like where you try to slide and kill him, it's a bit iffy where he'll end up if you don't. And so Drogie definitely getting lucky there.
Yep, so Dwhatever grabbing the MIPS. Drogie right behind him, going to be headed down to do the exact same. So it really is coming down to SSL. It's going to be tight coming out of this stage.
Definitely. Okay, let's see it. Big bomb, Tama plus.
It's looking
jump.
good.
And he's clipped. Okay, first attempt good from Dwhatever. You just got to do all that exactly one more time.
Yeah, and Dwhatever opting for the faster star to get first with that pillarless. So next time he does it, it will take a little bit longer.
Yeah, it looks like Dwhatever's ahead, but should Drogie get his first plus, they'll be about even due to the extra length on Dwhatever's star.
Doesn't look like, there was any swap in the lead.
And
as long as he can get this.
A pristine second attempt from Dwhatever. Now Drogie medium bomb, or sorry, big bomb, gonna be going for the just standard plus setup, which definitely advisable at this point. And he's in there, okay.
Yeah, so these star grabs, Drogie's ahead.
Just barely, but wow. Okay. If Drogie knows this, the nerves just have to be ridiculous. Like, he has to feel like he's going into TTC on like a 48 pace. But we'll see how he's able to play in that headspace.
Yeah, this is pretty insane. Not sure if he knows what's going on. He probably does, considering how well he's played this. He probably knows he's somewhat close. But beautiful challenge from both runners. It's really fun to see races that are this close because you can really see the time differences between small differences of what the runners will choose to do.
Oh, definitely. And you're easily able to see like exactly how much a given mistake could potentially lose.
Yeah, like the time difference here, like Dwhatever should be ahead by probably like 6 or 8 seconds, but he ended up falling off the mountain. So he lost a significant amount of time doing that.
Oh yeah, it was huge. Okay, so both players advancing into LLL. Let's see if they do the right start order or the wrong one. Looks like Drogie's doing the right one. There we go. And Dwhatever as well. Nice to see. Look, man, I very much support doing reds first, since you already have to wait to do your long jump anyway. May as well wait with a text box. Just makes sense to me.
Wait with that one?
Yeah, like, you know, Because like imagine trying to use the text box on like the movement towards the volcano. Like that would just be
Oh, you mean long
so
jumping to the
masochistic.
left? Okay.
Yeah, because you're already having to delay your long jump like a split second, so it actually
Right.
makes it a little bit easier to do that delay with the text box.
Exactly. So doing the exact same star order.
Really nice log rolling from both sides. I think they actually went for about the same strat, including that like rollout over the middle lava pit.
Yeah, they both did the rollout with the speed kick afterwards to maintain all the speed. All right, so bit of a shift here now in star order. Dwhatever going into the volcano. Drogie deciding to take care of at least his big bully first.
Yeah, and he's got the kill on the big bully and the ledge grab skip, so nice execution.
Yeah, Dwhatever deciding to do the easier lava boost strats, not opting to do pro boost.
Yeah, long jump boost, I mean, it's stupid consistent for a guy at this level. Like it, the stick movement is just hold this notch, and then when Mario gets here, hold this notch. It's not like pro boost where you're having to do a very gradual slide between positions, and if you do it like too snappily or like just don't hit it like one of the arcs correctly, you'll just fail without exactly knowing how sometimes. But so it's just like that. That's really why you see even pro players like D go for long jump boost, because it's so ridiculously consistent and still very fast.
Yep, all right. Meanwhile, Drogie was actually able to get a good triple bully kill. I think he got all three at once.
And I'm sure D is going to be going for ledge grab skip on his triple bully kill. This is one situation where even though like skipping ledge grabs is always faster, it could actually like mess you up on this because it makes killing the triple bully a lot harder. As you can see there,
Yep.
Dwhatever getting a little bit bopped, so he ended up losing more time than he would have to just taking a ledge grab.
Yeah,
Drogie with a nice lava boost.
Yeah, very good from Drogie. But yeah, the bullies move around basically from start of the round, so saving time actually puts them into a more awkward position to get the triple kill.
Yeah, saving time will likely lose you time.
Funny how that works.
But now we're converging yet again with the routing and going for elevator star here.
Yeah, Drogie maintaining his lead all the way through Lethal Lava Land. Not like a run killer type level, but definitely one that you can see some small time losses here and there.
Oh yeah, and especially if triple bullies starts to go south, it's very easy to lose like 5-10 seconds on it if you're not careful. But still rocking that couple second lead, going on into DDD. This is a just ridiculous position for Drogie. He's really applying the pressure right now.
Yeah, absolutely. But going to be entering DDD, but after DDD is where we could possibly see the giant swing as well. Over in Fire Sea, if one of the runners might happen to miss that elevator cycle.
Yeah, and Dwhatever does have a bit of an advantage in Fire Sea just with how optimized his movement is and how he approaches the stage. He's gotten some really, really deep lava boosts before, which pretty well means he's got more leeway than Drogie ultimately has there.
Probably, definitely more knowledgeable about what exactly needs to happen, even if he were to make a tiny movement mistake.
So, okay. Both players with some pretty nice chests. Drogie actually the single star world record holder for swimming chests in current. And Dwhatever now in the lead due to swimming.
Yeah, I think Drogie got pulled in just a little bit more by that vortex. He like went behind the chest, and since that vortex is always pulling you in, I think it made him lose that time.
Yeah, and D took like a really optimal arc on the fourth chest, I noticed. Like that's we talk about it all the time, but textbook example, you can lose more time than you think to swimming. Bakastoffen, I can't actually speak to what happened this time, but normally Drogie's flag is actually represented as a square. The flags actually come from the runner's layout, so it might be an issue on Drogie's layout that he just didn't catch or something before the race. Because like so, for those curious about like behind the scenes stuff, very nice front sub from Dwhatever. When the runners are streaming their runs to us, we give them a template where like one specific part of the stream has gameplay, one specific part has their name, one specific part has their face cam, and there's a little box for country flag as well. And so the runner is actually the one that puts that into the place. Like sometimes OBS can just be quirky, especially like with updates. It might just be that for some reason the source got larger without Drogie realizing it. So just anything could have really happened there. Drogie actually missing one of the ranks here, so a little bit awkward, but still making it up. Just really unfortunate to see Drogie losing this lead in DDD of all stages.
Yeah, very, very strange that that's happening. But I mean, Dwhatever's just got perfectly optimal movement most of the time. It feels like so.
Yeah,
in a stage
well
where that, yeah, exactly. But in a stage where like that's, you know, highlighted, it's not super surprising to see like the lead inch forward in his direction.
All right, so Dion, nice pace for boost. Got his double wall kicks.
Yeah, looking good for both runners so far. D going for it. Easy.
Oh, Drogie actually missing the triple there. I don't think... Oh, that's going to seal it for him. Okay, early Ellie's maybe, but it's going to be tough.
If it is, it's going to be super tight. He might be on pace if he...
Platforms were already hyperextended. It's over.
Yeah.
Oh, that right there is 15 seconds at least. That is heartbreaking. Oh, man. Jeez,
yeah,
that's rough to see. But like that's what you deal with in this stage. That's why this stage, I don't think there's any runner that would disagree that in 70 star Bowser in the Fire Sea is the worst Bowser stage, or at least hardest.
Yeah,
if you're trying to go for something ridiculous like, yeah, if you're going for something ridiculous like Manama on Sky, like I guess that could be harder. Oh,
Drogie tried to do a quick ground pound, but probably tried to do it too quick because it ended up just long jumping all the way off.
And that's really unlucky because hitting A and Z together would have given him a ground pound. So that means he had to have hit Z at least a frame earlier.
But if you're coming off of a ground pound, he could have just not like fully let go of the Z, and so ended up just doing another long jump.
Oh, okay, yeah, that also easily could have happened. And then Drogie not able to get the grab, just melting down at this point. I mean, it kind of makes sense given this is really his first big mistake in this run, and so it triggers a huge shift in mentality that is very hard to like really adjust to in the moment, especially in a stage as demanding as this. But he's got a chance to kind of recenter. There's a lot of like little short cutscenes coming up and really basic movement. So that'll give him a nice opportunity to kind of take some deep breaths and try to relax a little bit. But this is going to showcase a lot more so just how important mentality is in this game. Like when things go south, it is vitally important to be able to mentally reset.
Yeah, absolutely. Because this race is by no means over.
Right.
Still super close. But so if he can just keep it together, very likely Dwhatever will make a mistake somewhere that he'll be able to capitalize on.
Yeah, it's still within a minute, and like in recent runs, Dwhatever has been messing with like some wild strats in TTC that could easily go south. So it'll be interesting to see both if he decides to go for those strats and what happens, and also like if he decides not to go for those strats and how some things that he may not have practiced a whole lot recently could potentially go.
Yeah, absolutely. But even just saying that, bad RNG on the side of Drogie. Had to jump back for a coin.
But good RNG on that spray. That was a like dead spray.
Yep. What Dry World giveth and it taketh. You just run with it.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay.
Take a thing again.
Okay, at least he was able to grab that coin though. Yeah.
That was a really good backup. Meanwhile, Dwhatever off doing other stars optimally.
Yeah.
Very nice wall kicks.
And by starting those wall kicks with a single jump, a lot of runners will start with a long jump, but if you start with a single jump, you can actually do one less wall kick. As you saw, like D's last wall kick was from the wall that was closest to the camera. But a lot of runners, you'll notice their last wall kick is from the wall furthest away. That's typically because either they don't do the single jump optimally or they do a long jump to start. Triple from D.
Oh no!
Big old swan dive. What would you rate that? I think it was a 10. Like, I mean, that very, very
I'd give it a 9.
arc and execution.
I saw a little splash. There's some. Give it a 9.
Wait, is this cliff diving or like actual like normal diving?
One's just from a higher height. I would call that a cliff dive.
Oh, okay. Because aren't splashes more important in cliff diving? I feel like they are.
I have no idea. I have no idea how to rate diving.
At least you knew that splashing was a factor. I don't think a lot of people know that.
Yep. See, whatever's gonna have a clean movement, he'll have a clean dive, straight off the cliff. But regardless, was able to give Drogie a nice area to save time. So really shocking airlift star away, which is the fastest star in the stage. So able to well,
Drogie
close the gap just a bit.
He does still have to do top of the town.
Oh, I thought he did top of the town already. I must
No, not just yet. He should have 39 stars on the stage.
Gotcha. See, his star count is just way off my screen.
Yeah,
it's getting covered up.
I don't know why it's not for mine, because normally it does get covered up on mine.
Could not tell you, but anyway.
Hey, Drogie thought he was getting shocking arrow lifts. He got the same
he just
star
got the same
twice.
star twice.
Oh no. Please tell me he realized. Please. Okay.
Yeah, that's a full mental error. That's
okay.
Unfortunate. Because that normally is a star that you would do last.
Right.
And so I'm sure in his mind he was like, I've got one more star to do, and just automated to go to that one.
That's unfortunate. And as Dwhatever is just kind of cruising through THI now, 2 stars in, 1 left.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Dwhatever just extending his lead by a good margin now.
And one thing that can kind of mess people up with grabbing the same star is a number of people will practice with like all of their stars being blue, so it doesn't really trigger anything in their head to see a blue star. Like they're just like, oh, okay, that's normal. But interestingly enough, the Usumune practice ROM has an option where you can make every star always yellow. So like that way, when you're doing runs, you'll be able to really easily notice if a star is blue and it shouldn't be.
Yeah, that'd be very nice to have.
I've always had the feature on, and I definitely notice, like, when I'm going through stages like TTC, for instance, when I'm doing, like, later stars after already doing sometime moving stars, I notice that, like, oh, I've already done that one, Like, it's just very snappy. Like, it makes it very obvious to your attention. Okay, Drogie messing around with THI's top of the island star here.
Pretty clean.
Whatever with Ruthless.
Free trick, man. Why would he not?
Right? It's just so easy.
Yeah, Dwhatever. He hasn't done any mountain flips, has he?
Not just yet. Let's watch these reds here. It's the speed kick to start there. And he's gonna be doing missing a coin. Oh, he thought he got a rollout or a side flip. That's what that technique is.
Yeah, missing a coin. Very dangerous to miss a coin on the mushrooms.
But he's backing up super nice. Very. Missing the last coin in both sets.
Scraping by both coins. Yeah, grabbing coins and all that good stuff while doing certain movement can be a little awkward with how Mario's hitbox kind of shifts with what he does.
The coin hitboxes are like very deceiving. Like the coin is actually just a pre-rendered sprite. It's not actually a 3D object that you see. But the hitbox is just a cylinder that surrounds like what the developers thought visually the coin looked like.
Right.
But like it extends wider than you would think, but like strats like TTM Reds take so much advantage of that like extended appearance of range that like you're just used to gliding right by the coin and just collecting it. So on those situations where you're a little further away, it can be very difficult to visually notice.
Yep, absolutely. And I was actually going to point out earlier, right before we started doing reds, Dwhatever for some reason likes to save his mountain clips for later on, which is not normally advised, just simply because all the stars other than the 2 mountain clip stars are backups in case you fail it.
Right, like
But
failing the log
Dwhatever-
wall kick puts you in a really nice position to just start doing reds instead.
Yeah, exactly. But in the last few races, just something I've seen is like that's just what he always does.
Right. One other thing I'd like to point out real quick is Dwhatever, if you notice, he didn't get his triple jump up the side of the mountain after the log wall kick. And he actually, instead of kicking up like Drogie just did, he just went back down and tried the triple again. I think that actually saves like just a little bit of time with just how fast that triple gets you up there and how slow the kicks honestly are.
Yeah, definitely. And he was right at the bottom as well. So definitely good to realize it.
So Drogie playing a little bit more conservatively, does do that dive rollout on the last mushroom, but doesn't get his jump like he wanted, but very nice backup at least. So very clean reds. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Drogie outplayed Dwhatever on TTM Reds today. If nothing else, that's something to take home and put on your wall.
I would agree with that.
Dwhatever is just a god at reds. Like any star involving coins, pretty much like TTC 100, TTM Reds, like just all sorts of 100 coins and red stars. Dwhatever is just grinded the heck out of single stars to the point that I'm pretty sure he still holds records on a bunch. But like even if he doesn't, he's just so ridiculously consistent that it's so hard to compete.
Yeah, just any of those stars with the type movements, he's just insane at doing.
He's a single star legend. Like I feel like that's a huge reason why we're able to see him do such optimal movement now is just from all the time he's spent with single star.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For those that don't know, single star is what we refer to as grinding for the best, like a world record time on just 1 star out of all 120 stars in the game. There's a full leaderboard spreadsheet that's hosted by the same Usamoon that makes the Usamoon practice ROM. It can be a little hard to find sometimes, but I believe there's a link to it somewhere from speedrun.com if you're curious to look at some of those. And there's like both a chart of single star records that use RTA type strats, and then there's another chart of ones that use like just insane strats. Like there's like a set of single stars in JRB that use BLJs with metal cap, like just ridiculous stuff you never see. So if you want to see even more of this game than you'd ever see in runs, definitely check that spreadsheet out. It's really cool.
Yeah, it can definitely be really cool just to enter in one of those videos. And I wonder what the 100 coin on BBH is.
Yeah. And like with longer stars like that, you just see some like really, really sick strats that are definitely possible RTA. They're just so finicky that like a lot of people won't really bother.
Yeah, but one day might end up seeing.
Yep, just we've been seeing Dwhatever start trying to integrate moving reds into TTC. It's been known to be faster for a long, long time. It's just who wants to make TTC harder.
Exactly.
But as the game progresses, those time saves will just have to be implemented at a point.
Yeah, and that's basically all that people have their bases off of for what strats they actually do. It's all a balance of how difficult is it to how much time does it actually save. And at this level, I mean, you're scrunching in so much time that you just have to start doing some of the strats that were previously thought to be just not valid.
Right. Okay, so Dwhatever with box triple to start out HMC. Just, I mean, I typically will say that, like, for a lot of runners, you know, HMC is a nice reprieve, although triple box jump can be weird, but, like, for D, it's free.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I've ever really seen him fail triple box jump.
If he did, he backed it up, like, no problem, basically.
And he's also going to be going for right side emergency exit. The strat that D is doing is just barely faster than like going and doing a triple jump wall kick on the left side of that room, but only if you do it perfectly like D just did. He definitely saved time on it there, but a lot of runners, like if you even take a ledge grab, you'll lose time. It saves that little.
Yeah, it's a little interesting to see runners pick between those two strats because I always feel like right side is much safer, and you can even like save time with it. So I don't know why a lot of runners choose to do left side.
Well, like I personally choose to do left, and the reason is that it's very, very consistent with its timing. As long as you execute the strat properly, and like when you've practiced it a bunch, you notice the little nuances that help you get it very consistent. It's especially consistent if you're willing to forego the dive sometimes. Like if you start really paying attention and trying to notice when you can and can't dive, that makes it like just as safe.
Okay.
And I just, like I said, I like it because it gets you a very consistent, nice time. Whereas like if you take a ledge grab on the other side, I think you're losing at least a second. So Drogie doing that left-hand side strat just to show it off.
Yep, showing off exactly what we're talking about. So very interesting, always fun to have chats with different strats, because there's so much in this game, I don't think anybody knows it all.
Also, one thing to point out, Draws also does that left side strat in like 16-star runs I've seen.
Yep, Drogie getting that triple box jump as well.
Let's do whatever. Heads up to Tippy. Let's see what... This is going to be really interesting to watch, because Dwhatever, like I said, has been just trying to revolutionize his Tippy gameplay, especially in TTC. So he'll be one to watch throughout all of this like next few stage. That was a sentence right there. Jeez. Weird alignment there. Yeah, just gonna do reds as a backup. Smart play. I wouldn't try to do any kind of Lakitu bounce with that.
Yeah, it looked like he kind of held right a little too soon on the joystick. Yeah, because normally when you do that, you'll do a triple jump and then kind of hold right to adjust Mario. So really nicely was actually able to get it though. A lot of times small mishaps will just kill you like that.
Yeah, oh yeah. Especially on those rotating platforms. Like if you end up doing your wall kick too low, for some reason the platform will then trigger a second wall kick almost immediately that like you even if you're expecting it, you can't do much about it.
Just like that. That's exactly what I was talking about.
Well, that was him going for like the glitchy wall kick, I'm pretty sure, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the tiny movement being just killing you at the start.
Right. That movement is just even worse about killing you at the start because the timing is so tight. But he gets the glitched wall kick this time around. To try to explain a glitchy wall kick, when you wall kick, the game like takes the wall that you touch and references that to determine the angle to put you away at. But there are certain situations when you wall kick on a corner that the game references the wrong wall. So the angle you get pushed away at is in reference to a different wall than the one that you're actually kicking off of. So like in that case, you saw Dwhatever's wall kick went basically the same direction as like the original movement. That was just because like the wall that the game thought he was kicking off of would have put him at that angle, but it just applied that to the other wall that he was actually on. It can be a little hard to grasp, but basically just wall kicking at a specific point does weird things. Drogie, though, unfortunately taking a bonk from Lakitu and not bouncing.
Yeah, that's an extremely unfortunate, because it looked like he had it too. He almost had the bounce and then wasn't even able to back it up, just instantly off the stage.
Oh, Dwhatever doing the like hardest movement that you ever really see RTA for this star here.
Oh. Yeah, getting burned, a bit unfortunate, but yeah, that movement was sick. Always really cool to see that.
Yeah, normally you see people do that in order to do like a just ridiculous ending that like if you time it really, really correctly and precisely, the edge of that like swinging platform can be used as a very steep slope to give you just a ton of momentum to get to the star quickly. But if you navigate it like a little bit weirdly, you can end up like falling to your death or just bonking and losing all your speed.
Yep, super tight. Dwhatever Gonna be doing 100 coin on TikTok clock. Also a really tight star for movement. Do whatever. You'll see him do a lot of things just super optimally.
Yeah, and interestingly, Dwhatever in this run at least dropping the new triple jump strat that he does for the blue coin star. Not blue coin star, sorry, blue coin switch.
Yeah,
I
where you
believe
come on the opposite side of that cage and
Yeah,
jump the gap.
I think it was created by Saxtol. I don't remember who exactly created it, but I know Dwhatever learned it from Saxtol. And that strat, like, it looks very flashy, but I feel like it's actually a better way of getting to the blue coin switch.
It's
Like,
I've
despite
heard
being
from
fast.
runners who've done it that it's a lot more consistent than it looks.
Right.
Because it looks
right.
terrifying, which is probably why most runners haven't picked it up yet.
I think part of what helps is that, like, you set it with a down right, I'm pretty sure, which, like, really, it's nice to set a jump with an angle like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it also helps that you start with a side flip, so you have a lot of time to set that angle. So time moving stars coming on up for Dwhatever. Gonna be starting out with some time moving triples here. It's interesting that this strat has like so many tiny variations for how to do it. Like there's some people that will do what Dwhatever did, like with a kick at the start, like right as soon as you start the stage. There's some people that will just use a slightly different camera setup using Mario Cam. Like I, for instance, I'll delay my first kick because it changes the camera just slightly with Mario running forward. There's people that won't kick at all. They'll just do a jump, a normal single jump at the start. Like there's a lot of very subtle variations on how to do time moving triples.
Yeah, absolutely. And the same is just kind of like lava boost. Just when you have some weird angle, you have to get up a wall. Surprising amount of ways that actually end up working out.
Right. And whichever one you choose, like especially with this one, just depends on what you're more comfortable with. None of them really lose or gain more than frames over each other, but it just depends on which one makes the most sense to you mentally.
Yeah, but Dwhatever making quick work of this stage. Drogie is just now doing his 100 coin. It's looking pretty good so far.
Just some nice and clean movement.
So I know you mentioned Dwhatever doing moving reds a lot of the times, or at least practicing it. Don't remember exactly what you said, but I've got that tiny sliver of hope that he might actually do it, but I don't.
Me too. But yeah. Normally when you see players start doing time stopped stars, like they're just doing time stopped stars. So we'll see what happens here. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just based on like how close Drogie honestly is. Yeah, he's gonna wait it out. Okay, but he has been like trying to integrate it into runs. I've seen him try to do it in a couple of 70 runs. I think he succeeded a couple of times, but not on like really good pace runs.
Yeah, it might just be something to pull out. If you know you might not PB, but you want to finish the run. Doing strats like that's kind of fun. So is Drogie doing red coins? Looks like he is.
Yeah.
So some strange order of stars, but luckily this stage order doesn't matter. Mostly just depends on what runners typically gear towards. But I know Cheesa started doing like 8 red coins first, before 100 coin. So
yeah, there's something to be said about that, like just kind of preparing you for the TTC mentality in a way. But
yeah, just one of those differences that every runner has their preference. But Dwhatever already in bits, really. Making quick work of TikTok clock.
And D, of course, going for Manima Cycle.
Oh, had too much speed going up there, so when he tried to kick, he ended up just diving.
That's always unfortunate when you try to delay a kick specifically so it doesn't do that, and it still does.
Yeah, you catch it on like the last like movement frame, or I don't know how you adjust speed. But if you would have waited like an extra couple frames, then what you were trying to do would have worked out.
Yeah. But nice 48 pace, like even with a few little bobbles here and there, like Dwhatever still pulling out a really, really impressive run. Like, this is a low 48 too.
Yeah, this is super impressive, and Drogie still isn't that far behind. Having a little trouble grabbing the last couple of stars here, but Drogie is on an amazing pace as well.
Definitely. And super clean Bowser fight from Dwhatever. I want to give huge shout outs to Dwhatever for being a clockwise spinner, like is correct to spin the stick. And my Bowser fight, I try to model it a little after him because of that. His spins are nice. Yeah, 48, like 20 looks like, or 22. Yeah, 21. Very, very nice time from Dwhatever. Like, huge GGs. And GG's to Drogie too. Like, you know, obviously, like, Dwhatever's finishing decently far ahead, but Drogie hasn't had like an awful run at all. I mean, you got to remember, all the way up to DDD, he was like tied with Dwhatever.
Yeah, it was an absolutely insane first half, and there still hasn't been many mishaps here in the second half. So gonna be making his way up to bits already. Looking to be 50 pace, possibly 49 if he does everything like really, really well.
No, a 49 isn't.
No,
really
49. No, I was thinking. I'm sorry. I was thinking a high 50. 51, definitely possible. 50 if he can go fast.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what skip is he about to pull out to get a 49?
Would be an insane new strat nobody's ever seen before.
Just do a BLJ, except instead of going backwards, you go up.
Yep. Some task level movement coming out from Drogie.
Oh, taking a slide there. Not quite jumping fast enough. Yeah, a 50 is definitely still on the table. It's going to be a little bit tight. So a perfect Bowser fight will take around 40 seconds. So as long as he's able to enter the pipe before 50-20 and like get the cutscene started, then he should be on pace for a 50. Which is, well, yeah, it's doable.
Yeah, if he has a good Bowser fight, he can still get the 50.
So let's see it happen here. That's one.
All right.
Going for the second here. Okay.
That's two.
Needs one more. And Bowser even helps you line this one up. The place that the platforms start falling is the bomb you should try to hit.
Oh.
A little bit off to the right, unfortunately.
Barely. It was a little unfortunate. I thought that one was going to hit.
Me too. Oh. So close. Just like, this is part of the problem with the last phase, is just you're so far away a lot of the time that you have to have a lot of speed and be really accurate. But there it is. Drogie gonna pull out a low 51 for this run. A nice solid performance, despite like a few mistakes here and there, but still GG's to Drogie. This is definitely a still like nice solid performance. And like, especially that like first half of the run is just out of this world.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Extremely good race from Drogie. Incredible race from Dwhatever.
Dwhatever with the nice note to Droger.
Yeah, but with that, this is pre-recorded, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, this is not live, so we will not be having post-run interviews. So with that, we're probably going to throw it off to the intermission. GG's again to both runners. It's an exciting race. Don't forget about PACE 2020 coming up in just a couple months up in Maryland. Going to be a great time. I think I and both Electric are going to be there.
Yep.
So make sure to check it out. !PACE for details. Anything else?
Well, just a friendly reminder that all of the runners and commentators that you've seen throughout the day typically will stream on Twitch, so drop them a follow if you like the content that you saw from them. And of course, as some of you may have seen on the calendar, we did have a match between JJSRL and Blue Bob scheduled today. That got moved to next week. So this is the last match of the evening. We'll be moving right on to our speedrun variety content. But for now, thanks so much for everyone coming by. It's been a pleasure to have you, and we hope you can come by tomorrow for some of our speedrun variety, or maybe later on in the week for some of our Mario Maker tournaments. Or if not, maybe next week for more Mario 64 matches. But for now, thanks for stopping by. We'll love to have you back. Have a good night.
And it's all thanks They are synced.
They are synced now. Whatever, in the lead again.
Wow.
Side for sure from Cheese. Okay, doing it, moving.
Oh no, the cheese falls!
Cheese